Hey everybody, we made it to the middle of the week. We are here once again with the San Diego Brewers Guild's Instagram Live, our happy hour at home. We've been doing this since, I think, about mid-March, just to check in with the local San Diego craft beer scene and see how things are going, how everybody's dealing with it, how we as a community can best support them. I appreciate everybody hopping on so quick and joining us week after week. I am Beth Demon. I am normally you can find me on Instagram at The Delighted Bite or on Twitter at Delighted Bite. I'm a local food writer, drinks writer. I mostly a beer writer. But sure, I dabble in a little bit of everything. So anyway, yeah, I've been a part of the San Diego craft beer scene for, a long time. And so I'm excited to talk to our distinguished panel of guests. We always are able to snag a couple great people for these conversations. So this week we're going to start things off with Little Miss Brewing. They've got a couple different locations around San Diego County. Then we're going to hop over to Mason Ale Works and see what is going on over there. And then we are going to pop over to Bottle Craft, one of the best bottle shops in town. We're going to talk to Jean, the beer buyer there in the North Park location. So I'm pretty psyched on that. And then we are going to wrap things up with Rincon Reservation Road Brewery, which is San Diego's one of the newest breweries, and also Southern California's first tribally owned and operated Native American brewery operated on actual tribal land. So that'll be a really interesting conversation. I've been able to connect with them for a variety of different stories, and I look forward to seeing how they are kind of coping with everything going on right now. So I did see a comment that you liked my shirt. I am currently rocking the Black is Beautiful collaboration shirt between Thunderhawk Ale Mints and Chula Vista Brewery, which before Thunderhawk ceased operations about a month ago, they were the only two Black-owned breweries in San Diego County. So I highly recommend hopping down to 3rd Avenue in Chula Vista, grabbing some beer to go, or I actually think you can drink it there. They've got a nice outside space right on 3rd Avenue. At Chula Vista Brewery, they participated in the global Black is Beautiful movement, and this shirt, I'll try to show you guys. They got pretty sweet, right? They had a Black artist put together this illustration for the collaborative brew and t-shirt that goes along with it. So anyway, pick it up. I think it's $20, and I don't recall off the top of my head where the proceeds for that collaboration fundraising brew was going, because everybody who participated was able to pick a different initiative that focuses on equity and restorative justice to combat systemic police brutality. So anyway, check it out. I'm pretty psyched on the shirt. It looks sweet. But first things first, what am I drinking today? I am drinking what I consider to be the taste of San Diego, Swami's IPA from Pizza Port. It really doesn't get much more San Diego than this, so let's crack it open. Obviously one of the longtime favorites. I'm sorry, I always have a koozie on. I don't know how you people drink without koozies. I'm just I want my beer to be cold and my hand to be warm. I don't know what you guys are doing. But anyway, sorry to cover it up, but Swami's, y'all know it, y'all love it. Grab it when you see it. You won't be disappointed. So anyway, before we get too far into this, I always like to go through some of the resources offered by the San Diego Brewers Guild for both consumers, employees, owners, everything like that. So, I'm wearing the Black is Beautiful shirt. There are a number of collaborations from different breweries that are popping up around town. I know that, Pure Project and Second Chance put theirs out a while ago. North Park Beer Company. Now, you can get the, super collaboration that AleSmith hosted with Horace and a whole bunch of other different places from around town. I know that that's available at the AleSmith Tasting Room now, so I highly recommend going and picking that up. Another fundraising beer that is important to be knowing about is the San Diego Brewers Guild, the United Double IPA. That the proceeds from that do go directly towards the San Diego Brewers Guild. It's typically a very event-centric organization where we're able to provide resources and things for the beer community thanks to income coming in from events and beer festivals and things like that. And obviously those are not happening right now. So I really recommend keeping an eye out for that. I know that there's a lot of people participating: Stone, Port Brewing, Thorn, Modern Times, Mother Earth. So anyway, it should be a pretty epic collaboration. I really recommend helping keep the San Diego Brewers Guild operational so that we can help keep supporting the San Diego local independent craft beer scene. I don't recall off the top of my head. I usually try to keep a list of places where I've seen jobs available in the brewing and beer community. I don't have any this week, so I don't know if you're looking for a job. Check Indeed. I'm sorry. There seem to have been a lot over past weeks, but anyway, keep tuning in. Check out if your favorite brewery is hiring or not, and check that out. So one of the things, this being the San Diego Brewers Guild live stream, if you have questions or need information about anything relating to San Diego beer, either as a consumer or an employee, please do go to sdbeer.com. There's a ton of resources there, as well as a link towards the Breweries Experiencing Economic Roadblock Fund, or the Beer Fund. There is a link to that directly on sdbeer.com on the homepage. So if you are, if you have a little bit of extra money and you're looking to support the craft beer scene here in San Diego, please do check that out. And while you're on sdbeer.com, be sure to check out the merch, including very sweet masks that are available. There's a newsletter for those who want to stay in touch with what's going on. Mental health resources for how to cope during the pandemic, everything like that. So check that out. If you have any questions or need additional resources that you don't see addressed on the Brewers Guild website. Sorry, my mom just called me. I thought I had it on Do Not Disturb, but anyway, please do go to info@sdbeer.com. And the Brewers Guild will be happy to help answer some of those questions that you have and put any additional resources up on the website. So before we bring on the first guest, please do note that this is completely interactive. I see your questions and comments, so if you have a question or comment for me or who I'm speaking with, please do put it up there, and we're happy to get to those as best as we can. So I'm trying to catch up with everybody. Yeah, the unemployment situation in California has been great. And I mean that on opposite day. So, edd.ca.gov, get your crap together because people need some help, but, no comment. So, anyway, we are going to get started. I know it's a little early, but I had somebody who requested to be on here, and I'm not sure who that is, but I'm going to see. So, Bill, I'm not sure who you are with, but we're going to start things off with Little Miss. So I'm going to try to add you, and it looks like I maybe can't. So if you are watching this and you are supposed to be a guest on here, I do need you to get on a mobile phone and not a computer. I can't add you to the screen if you are on a computer. So just go ahead and do that, because it looks like I cannot add Little Miss Normal Heights on here. So if you are able to get on your phone and off a computer, that would be really helpful, because otherwise I can't do it. But I will check and see if sorry, I'm trying to prop up my phone here and it's not working so great. So 1 second, I'm gonna try to see if I can make a quick not working. Oh, there we go. All right. We will get you on here right now as soon as my phone stops slipping away. So, okay. Let's add you. Let's add you to the screen right now. I'm not talking to, so this will be exciting. I just know the brewery. I feel like I might need to just hold my phone. Hello.
Hi, Beth.
How's it going?
Good. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Yeah. How about you give us a quick intro, who you are and where you are?
Sure. My name is Lorenzo. I'm a beer tender with Little Miss Brewing. I work over at the La Mesa Tasting Room. I've
Hmm.
been with them for about a year. I'm just chilling at my house right now with my pups.
Oh, hey. Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
So, talk to me. Little Miss has got a couple of tasting rooms across San Diego. How have things been going, having so many different locations to kind of keep track of?
I think it's been going well. There's been some adjustments with all of the new regulations from the county.
Hmm.
But we're operating as usual. We have each tasting room in a has designated outdoor seating.
Hmm.
And so, yeah, we're still welcoming customers. We're still having a good time and pouring some good brews.
So, of all the different places, is there just one production place, or are there individual production places at each location that like offer special beers for different places?
No, just one production location in Miramar, and the four additional tasting rooms. We just pour beer there, and it all comes from Miramar.
Well, I know that each one has kind of a different aesthetic. You know, one is like World War II or what. Like, could you talk a little bit about kind of the ethos and vibe of Little Miss and kind of what sets you guys apart from other breweries in the San Diego craft beer scene?
Sure. The entire brewery is actually a World War II theme. Starting with the brewery in Miramar is World War II U.S. Power Ally themed,
Mm-hmm.
and each other tasting room pays homage to a different World War II ally. So, for example, in Normal Heights is World War II Great Britain. East Village is World War II France. La Mesa is World War II Canada, and Escondido is World War II Soviet Union.
So, what kind of gave that drive to have that sort of theme and be so centric to all those different locations?
I think the owners thought it would be a great fit for the San Diego community, being that San Diego is a military city. Also, just to pay homage to that special place in time. So, um, and people love it. It's a great conversation starter. Our customers love it. All of our beers also happen to be uh, based on some sort of military theme, World War II theme. For example, our flagship IPA is called the Hell Diver, and so you see
Mm-hmm.
a lot of different types of imagery within the tap rooms.
Okay. So, I mean, talking about beers, what are some of the beers that you guys have on people could expect if they were to get some beer to go or to drink on premise right now?
What we have on tap is going to vary between locations, but typically we have a West Coast style IPA like the Helldiver, as I mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
We usually have one hazy. I know at La Mesa right now we have the Fog of War hazy IPA,
Mm-hmm.
and one of our best sellers is also our sours. So we have a few kettle sours at each of our locations, and they come in various different flavors, including cherry almond, grapefruit, raspberry, and it is going to the flavor will vary depending on what tasting room you visit.
Okay. Have you guys had to adjust operations at all just based on the pandemic in terms of like outputting a certain amount of beer? Like, have you guys had to can a lot more, or were you already kind of set up to do that? Like, how have kind of the not just even regulations, but like how have the pandemic changed just the way that you operate?
We had to adjust slightly. We don't can and distribute at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
All the beer can be purchased at our tasting rooms. We do offer to go options, including growlers and to go options in mason jars. And
Mm-hmm.
the sales for our to goes have increased greatly. But as far as other operations, not that I know of.
I mean, are you guys thinking about getting into the growler game at all, or like packaged beer at all, other than growlers? Or
I don't know at the moment. I know that the brewery will be expanding, has plans on expanding, but we are operating on a 10 barrel system, and it's kind of
hmm.
difficult to keep up demand with five different tasting rooms in the county.
But I mean, if you're talking about future expansions, I mean, do you guys already have some spots like located for tasting rooms or anything like that?
Not that I know of. No.
But it seems like that's expansion is the bottom line. That's the future goal.
Right. Yeah. Expansion is the bottom line. I don't know where they're targeting or what the time frame looks like.
Okay. So, I mean, that's kind of an interesting perspective to take. I mean, you already have a decent amount of tasting rooms littered across the county. But, like you said, little to no distribution outside of that. Like, what's kind of the impetus for that sort of decision? Like, just keeping it in the tasting rooms?
Well, I'm not involved in those conversations, and to be honest with you, I don't know if it's something that they're adverse to. I'm just
Hmm.
not sure if that's something that that they can tackle at the moment. I know that the focus has been tasting rooms. We want customers to come and visit us in the tasting rooms, um, but once we do expand the facility in Miramar, they can increase production and hopefully start distributing.
Okay, you said you've been a beer tender there for about a year. I mean, what's been your experience working there and being part of the San Diego community? Like, how do you just perceive the community as a whole?
Oh, it's been great. Working with Little Miss has been my introduction into the community.
Hmm. Oh,
I had a phone call from my father, actually.
what's my parents
Crazy.
calling? Oh, my
Yeah.
mom called earlier today. Like they've got a live stream like ear out. Anyway, no problem. So
Yeah.
anyway, you
So,
said the community.
yeah, absolutely. Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah, I
Okay.
can. We're
Sorry,
back
cut off
online. So
for a second. Oh, it's been
kind of cut
great.
off mid thought. Hmm.
Yeah. So, I wasn't really into the craft beer scene until I started visiting Little Miss Brewery and got to know them. They became like family to us. And once I got the
Hmm.
opportunity to start working with them, and I started meeting people, coming in from all kinds of different breweries in San Diego County, and you get to meet new people every single day.
Hmm.
I'm there pouring beers, but I have customers there schooling me on their knowledge of beer and what places to
Hmm.
go and what to look for, and it's been an awesome experience.
Yeah, where are some of the other places around town that you just, some of your favorites of San Diego beer other than Little Miss?
I've always been a big fan of fall brewing.
Mm-hmm.
Ever since when I used to live in North Park, and I used to visit there frequently. And a couple other ones that stand out to me are the Border X and Mike Hess Brewing.
I did see that somebody is imploring you to open in Barrio Logan, so I don't know. It's a hot beer spot, so that wouldn't be
Yeah,
so bad.
well, yeah, Barrio Logan would be great, but we are actually just down the road in East Village. So if they're in the Barrio Logan neighborhood, come check us out off of Park Boulevard in East Village.
Very true. Very true. Yeah. Well, I mean, I remember. I mean, Little Miss has been around for gosh. I mean, I can't even remember when they opened, but I feel like it's just sort of been this like bonanza of opening. They're sort of like just this not like an unsung hero, but like a lot of people don't realize like how many spots that Little Miss has. Like they're already in what you said 4 or 5 neighborhoods already. Like it's Normal Heights, Miramar, East Village, La Mesa. Oh, the beach one,
Escondido.
Escondido. Okay, well then you got the beach one. There you go.
Yeah, so Little Miss expanded pretty quickly. The brewery opened in 2016, and between 2016 and 2018, there were only two tasting rooms, Miramar and Normal
Hmm.
Heights.
Hmm.
It was in 2018, 2019 when they really started to expand. They opened up three tasting rooms, pretty close together actually.
Yeah.
La Mesa, Escondido, and then East Village.
Yeah, I've always found it really fascinating. I feel like Little Miss has always kind of preceded San Diego kind of beer explosion areas. I mean, Miramar was obviously already kind of set up in that way, but then like Normal Heights, there really wasn't much else there. Escondido, it's kind of hard to live in the shadow of stone, but there weren't a lot of little spots there. La Mesa, I mean, there's hardly any. So, and East Village, that's becoming a place that has a lot of places, but I feel like you guys had roots there, a little bit earlier than some of the other places who are getting ready to open or have announced plans to open. So there's been a lot of foresight with that. So yeah, I always find it interesting to hear about the different expansion plans from different breweries, whether it be the AleSmith way where they hold on for like 10 years and then they just have one big spot that you go to, or, you focus on distribution, packaged beers and stuff like that, off-premise sales, or if you do the Little Miss way and just kind of like have tasting rooms all over the place so that anybody who wants to stop by pretty much in any neighborhood can. So it's always interesting to see what works for people and different directions to take. But before we wrap up with you, is there anything that the San Diego beer community can help support Little Miss right now?
Well, I wanted to touch on something that you mentioned earlier about job opportunities. Pretty recently, actually, we had um, submitted a post for job opportunities for beer tenders
Mm-hmm.
at our various locations. So if anyone out there has any interest in becoming a beer tender for the Little Miss Brewing, go ahead and send over a resume to littlemissbrewing@gmail.com. Little Miss Brewing, all one word. No experience necessary. Just send over your resume, and if you're good, we hope you to be a good fit for us.
Sweet. Well, that's good. That's good to know. I'll add that to my list of places to blast out. But anyway, thank you so much for checking in with us. Best of luck, and cheers for now.
All right, thanks, Beth.
All right, bye. Oops. What am I doing here? There we go. Gosh, I'm dropping my phone and my mom's calling me. It's like it's my first week. I don't know what I'm doing. So anyway, that was the folks over at Little Miss Brewing. They've got a bunch of different tasting rooms, so check them out if you are so inclined. But we're going to keep things going with Mason Ale Works, and I see you are ready for me. And let's get you on here. Let's get going. I got you in the car.
Yeah, I'm parked. I'm not driving right now. So, and hopefully my parents don't call, but there's no guarantee. Yeah.
I mean, it's like the time for them to call. It's ridiculous, but I'm glad. I was running a little bit late, and I was in my car, and I was like, I'm gonna look like a real a-hole if I'm like, right, I'm almost home, but like, let's do the live stream. So I it safely. But let's get a quick intro, who you are, and well, I would say where you are, but we'll say who you're with.
So I'm Grant Tondro. I'm the owner of Urge Gastropub and Mason Ale Works.
Awesome. So talk to me about what is happening at Mason Ale Works right now.
So right now we are brewing our faces off. So
Ooh.
for the last 5 years, we've been a Type 75 brewer, which put a cap on self-distribution and put a cap on production. During this pandemic, we converted over to a Type 23, which allows us to self-distribute and increases our brewing cap. So we have increased our distribution up to 12 states and a few other foreign countries, and we're on pace to do somewhere around 9,000 barrels of beer this year.
There you go. I mean, no shame in that game. So just out of curiosity, what are some of the countries that you're going to?
So we just recently picked up Belgium, and we've been talking to a distributor in England. I had conversations a couple of days ago with a distributor in Japan and a distributor in Australia.
I was just curious because I feel like a couple of years ago there was a few places like really like pushing hard for like South Korea, like the Korean beer scene, and so I was like, yeah, that'd be so cool. Anyway.
Absolutely. The South Korean beer scene is big. We did send a lot of beer to China the last couple of years.
Yes.
But then our Chinese distributor went out of business. So, yeah, good times. So
that will happen. That will happen. Well, so talk to me. I mean, so you guys are going to be, busting out a ton more beers. What are some of the beers that we can be expecting to like get from you right now or in the future?
Absolutely. So we've got a few different things going on. We have a few different projects we're working on with Kyle from Horace Aged Ales. JJ, our head brewer, who's got an awesome pedigree, is turning out just a ton of new beers. We have somewhere between 9 and 12 new beers coming out every month between now and the end of the year. And then we're also working on some projects with Chris Jacobs from Beer Zombies, who actually helped him launch Beer Zombies Brewing, as well as some collaborations that we've got going on with him. So we are definitely staying busy.
I have no idea who Beer Zombies is, but I am interested. I'm also a little bit afraid because I feel like 2020 has already thrown so much at us that I don't want to even like tempt fate with zombies.
I hear you. We even have an Italian Pilsner coming out with Kyle from Horace called Murder Hornets. So, but in Italian. So.
Well, it's interesting that Horace is doing a Pilsner. I'll check that out. I'll keep an eye out.
It'll be good. Trust me. So, JJ, our brewer, is working pretty closely with Kyle on it, and he knows a thing or two about a thing or two.
Well, I'm sold. I love people who know. So, right now, where are you guys at? Are you just doing to go? Do you have a spot for people to come and drink on premise? What's happening?
Sure. So thankfully, with owning Urge Gastropub as well, we have almost all of our beers available at both the Urge locations, so in Rancho Bernardo and in San Marcos, attached to the brewery. I also own another restaurant called the Barrel Room, which is a wine bar and bistro that has a few Mason Ale Works taps on as well. And then everything is available for retail. Bottlecraft, all their locations are great about bringing our stuff in locally here in San Diego. But there's a lot of other guys like San Dimas Liquor, gosh, Mo at Craft Beer Kings brings in stuff from us all the time. I mean, there's a lot of different places in Southern California, and then believe it or not, Las Vegas is by far our second biggest market, and we send a ton of beer out there.
I think it's interesting you say that. I feel like we could have a whole conversation about like places other than San Diego that drink beer. It's kind of easy to forget that there's other places because like, why would I leave? I like San Diego. But like Vegas is sort of like this untapped place where a lot of people drink beer. Like it's not just liquor and whatever. Like you're totally right. I think that that'll be a really interesting thing to see like develop, especially, I mean, like people are moving out of San Diego. It's expensive in California. I get it. Like, and if you don't want to go to Arizona, which I do not recommend, Nevada.
Well, and it's just as hot as Arizona, but we started selling beer into Arizona about 3 years ago, and Phoenix was by far our second biggest market until about the last 6 months. And now it's almost weekly we are sending beer out to Vegas. But it's interesting in both times because I'll go out about every other month to each one of those markets to work with our distributors. And at all these bars and restaurants we go to, it's all ex-San Diegans who are in these places that are help pulling the product through.
Oh yeah, I mean, I've got some friends who moved out to like Tahoe or in Reno, and like I get it, man. You want to have great outdoors or the Strip, the great indoors, whatever. But it's a little bit more approachable just in terms of like cost of entry, but you still want to have great beer. So, and I mean, God knows it's so hot out there. I need something to cool me off. So that makes perfect sense to me. So what are some future plans other than just like massively pumping up the output? I mean, will there be any more locations in the future or anything like that? Or are you guys just kind of focused on getting production maximized?
No, I definitely feel like the opportunity that I've been so focused the last couple of years on opening up new states for us to do distribution in, just because there's so much competition in San Diego. We signed a distribution contract with Stone when we first launched, and as much as I love a lot of the people at Stone, Stone has changed a lot as a distributor the last couple of years.
Yeah,
I'll just be good and PC and leave it at that.
There you go.
So we needed to send a lot of the beer we were making into other markets. But now in the last 6 months, there's been this glaring hole of, okay, we're not doing enough here locally. And, Urge was founded when I opened up the first location 10 years ago. It was really focused on just bringing in the best of what we could from a lot of other people. When Urge first opened, there was 34 breweries in San Diego, and that was because Hess and Mother Earth had just opened. So I don't want to stop carrying guest beers at those places and just put Mason out. But I do need to make sure that we're giving the right focus to that as well. So we have a couple things in the works right now. Nothing formal to announce quite yet, but we are working on a couple of tasting room opportunities that we think we're going to get done. So fingers crossed.
Yeah, fingers crossed. I will say, obviously any beer drinker has way too many glasses at home. I am totally guilty of it, but I will say one of my like go-to glasses, like you always just grab the one in the front, right?
Yep.
Mine is like the Urge Rancho Bernardo opening, like grand opening glass. There's just like it's just not, like it's just the I probably drink out of that glass like I had pint glasses made for my wedding. That was like the favor. It's like besides those glasses, for some reason, like just the Urge glass is like the one I reach for. It's the
22.5 ounce Willie Beechers. I get them because Mike Skubik, who was with Hess at the time and helped them open, was getting those. I love the feel of the glass. And last weekend was supposed to be the Urge 10th anniversary. We're still going to do it, but we're going to do it probably in September at the rate things are going right now. And so you got to come up and complete the set, the 1st and the 10th.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Deal. I will. Well, before we sign off, where can people keep up with everything that's going on? Social media, newsletter, where's the best?
Absolutely. We're pretty active through the Instagram for Mason. I do about half the posting, and I've got somebody else who helps me out with it, but I'm on it probably 10 times a day. So if you ever have a question, feel free to shoot a message in. Somebody's got to razz Jacob Nikos through social media, so I make sure to be on there to do my part. So.
You know what? And God bless you for taking on that burden, because Lord knows more people need to. So.
Yep.
Anyway,
Lord's work.
It was great checking in with you. Thanks so much. And
Thank you.
I will keep that 10th anniversary. I'll keep an ear out for it.
Sounds good.
All right. Cheers for now.
Cheers.
All right, that was Grant over at Mason Ale Works, and we are gonna keep things going with. Oh, I'm very excited. We're gonna talk to Bottlecraft. I don't know if I should add. I saw Bottlecraft North Park and Bottlecraft. I don't know which one I should add. So if you could just, whichever one of you is Jean, if you could just hop on, or you can either request to be on here, or you can just like do a little comment. And let me know which one is you, because I don't want to add the wrong one. Because I would look so stupid. It would be like if I dropped my phone or my mom called in the middle of this. It would be I'd look very unprofessional. So if you are Jean, if you see this, just there should be two little like happy faces at the bottom of your screen, like to the right of the comment bar. He's on the main Bottlecraft account. Okay, sweet. I just wanted to double check. I didn't want to like catch somebody by surprise. Not wearing pants or something. I don't know. I think Jean will probably be wearing pants.
Hello?
Oh, there we go.
Hey. Hi.
Fun?
Hey, Beth. How are you?
So to anybody who doesn't, I used to live in North Park for like 10 years, and I would see Jean like twice a week, and now I'm just like, I don't see you nearly as much, and it hurts me.
Oh, I miss you, Beth. How you been?
I'm good. I'm sweaty right now. I don't know if you guys can see my fan going, but I'm okay. How are you?
We're okay. Yeah. Thanks for having us on the program.
Oh.
So, it's been a strange time. I think we can all agree.
Yeah, I think we can. I think on all that. I will say, well, how have things been going at Bottlecraft specifically? I mean, I feel like everybody kind of went from a lot of on-premise to totally off-premise. So, I mean, how was that? How did that change for Bottlecraft?
Yeah, so as you know, as many of your viewers know, Bottlecraft has both on and off-premise licenses for all locations. So we were able to pivot to a certain extent on account of that. So Bottlecraft North Park, the location that I manage, we didn't close for even a day. So it was, yeah. So we went to an off-premise only for a couple of months, and definitely consumption has changed dramatically around town with the absence of bars and restaurants and breweries for a couple of months. So we're seeing a shift away from on-premise to off-store. I also think some people are drinking more, and other people are drinking the same amount, but not at their usual venues. So on-premise sales have been okay. It's just we want to be able to support all of our local craft breweries. We've got real culture here in San Diego that I'd hate to see go the way of the dinosaur.
Well, I definitely don't think it's going the way of the dinosaur, but one thing that I have kind of spun as a silver lining during this whole thing is it kind of opened the opportunity. Like, I was able to get beers that I didn't normally get. And part of that, I mean, that might not be the Yeah, so was that the case for you? I mean, you obviously are able to get things that I don't get because I'm just a person, but like how was that kind of availability of certain things adjusted once people kind of just threw the rule book out the window?
For sure. A lot of breweries were unable to, I mean, not just in California, but in other markets too, were unable to sell quite as much through their usual accounts. And so there was a period of time there it really ramped up in April and May when we started seeing all these breweries who don't usually distribute to San Diego or don't usually distribute to California or don't even distribute outside of their own brewery who started sending things. So there were a variety of very fun drops from Outer Range in Colorado and from Other Half in New York and a number of others. So that definitely drew some excitement. In some cases, it was also a way of assisting local distributors around here. It was a sort of everybody wins situation. So Modern Times Distributing, for example, brought in a number of things. So we were happy to participate, of course.
What were some of the things that you were just like, holy shit, we got that? That's awesome. Like, what really just like blew your socks off?
I have to admit, Other Half was a real surprise. That was quite a day. It all came and went in a single day. It was quite a few hours. But yeah, so...
Once the Alchemist started just like sending out weird truckloads of like Heady Topper and Focal Banger,
yes,
everybody was like, "Oh, old hat!" Like, "Oh, you've got a Focal Banger?" Like, who cares? And now it's like,
Yeah, Jen Kimmich is on record of The Alchemist of saying that she wants to do a drop here, specifically in Southern California, twice a year. And I don't know what we've done to deserve this. I don't know why San Diego gets more Alchemists than, say, upstate New York, but I mean, we'll go with it.
Yeah, shut up, Gene. Let him come. Like, let the.
Oh yeah, zip.
I love that you're standing in front of a box of Cantillon. Like, that's just like very strategic.
I'm in the back office of the North Park location, so I'm at work.
Yeah, you just got Cantillon lying around. It's totally chill.
Not piles of it, but
well, whatever. So where are you gonna go? Like, what beer pilgrimage are you going to do once you can do that?
That's a great question. So I was slated to go visit my sister who lives in Berlin and my 18-month-old nephew, and of course everybody's travel plans got scuttled. So when there's a vaccine or when things go back to what we call normal, I do intend to complete that trip. I have very fond memories of drinking Augustiner Hell, which you can buy all over the place. Not just in Bavaria, but all over Germany now at any kiosk or what's called a Späti. So I'm looking forward to that. It'll be good to get back to Belgium, of course. I had been planning to go visit friends in Austin, Texas. I've still never been. I've never set foot in Texas. So I was really looking forward to going to Jester King and especially Live Oak with their lagers and smoked beers and so forth.
Well, yeah. Well, and just like try not to get sidetracked by just like $2 Lone Star.
Oh,
I feel like
I've heard of this beer. I've never tasted it.
Oh, it's fine. I mean, it's a $2 beer, like it's whatever. But I do feel the only time I've been to Austin was in like 2012, and I feel like I got sidetracked by very cheap Lone Star everywhere. So I think I need a redo.
Sure.
But
sure.
Yeah. See, I was supposed to go to the Firestone Walker Invitational for the first time this year, so I'm like, okay.
Oh dear.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
To go, but I feel like next year's my year. Go drink beer in wine country and just like pee on all the vineyards. That's my plan.
All right,
But I've not been to Berlin or Belgium, so I feel like I'm just gonna like follow your travel journal after that and just do exactly what you did.
You're on. I mean, we're open. We're able to serve again at locations at Bottlecraft North Park in particular, and there has to be food involved. We have a few draft lines going, but we still have the, open a beer and drink inside. Wearing masks and gloves and ruthlessly sanitizing everything. These are good practices. So. Yes,
very good practices. So, could you tell people who are watching, like, how many different bottle crafts are there? Like, I feel like I just sort of assumed everybody knew. It's a great bottle shop, and, like, the one in North Park has a shop in it, too. Like, if you want to go to a good bottle shop that's not just San Diego beer, it's, like, beer from all over the world, but it's, like, meticulously curated, it's bottle craft. So how many are there in San Diego that people can go to?
Right, so the first one opened in Bottlecraft Little Italy just over 9 years ago, and that's across the street from the Ballast Point on North India Street. The location that I run here in North Park has been open for about 7.5 years, and of all the bottle crafts, we have the largest package selection, bottles and cans, and I would say our secret weapon is our partnership with Benissimo Cheese, another local company. They have space in the back. They're just to my right over there, and so it's wonderful working with them. I do miss running the beer and cheese classes with them. That's a real blow. It's a real fun. Then there's one inside Liberty Public Market in Point Loma, and then there are two in the North County on Solana Beach, just south of the original Pizza Port, and there's one in Sorrento Valley, not far from New English Brewing Company, sort of tucked in the pocket there. And then our first one outside of San Diego County in California is in Long Beach. So Long Beach opened not that long ago, 1.5 years ago. So
am I crazy, or was there one in Virginia Beach?
You're not imagining things. Yeah, there's a Bottlecraft in Virginia Beach of all places. So I've never visited there, and they're sort of our long lost cousins out there.
because the first college I went to was near Virginia Beach, and I'm just like, you guys were way, way, way after that, but I still have a ton of friends who live in Virginia Beach, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like, what do you
Well,
mean?
when they opened up, they could fill growlers, and we were so envious because we couldn't do that here in California. But now it's amazing all the relaxations of how laws can change very quickly when there's political will. So we can all growlers and we can have audio seats. It's not possible. So very interesting.
Crazy times, man. Well, I would say start rattling off all the Bottlecraft social media accounts, but I feel like there's like 10. So just follow at Bottlecraft to keep up with everything that's going on. And is there any final words before we sign off and head off to the next person?
It's good to see you, Beth. Thanks for having us on. Everybody, please support your local craft breweries and your local craft beer stores, and wash your hands.
We'll have a smoked Hellas soon. That's a promise.
Oh, that'll be wonderful.
All right. It was good to see you. We'll chat soon. Gene at Bottlecraft North Park, and that I would say is definitely my favorite bottle shop in San Diego. There's a lot of great ones, but if you have a question about anything beer related, Gene will tell you what you need to know and then some. He is probably the smartest dude I've ever talked to. So anyway, Bottlecraft North Park, definitely a win. So we're going to take things home and we're going to wrap things up with the final brewery, Rincon Reservation Road, or 3R, which will be very exciting, even though I don't see them on here. Let me see. Unless that was who Bill, who requested to be on here, was. I don't know. I don't know if that's what that means. But I love that there's somebody who works at the Virginia Beach one. Yeah, I went to college in Newport News before I went to VCU in Richmond, so it's just funny to like see that Virginia Beach has like a San Diego company, but hey, what can I say? We're everywhere. You can't escape San Diego. So let me check real quick because I have a request to be on here from somebody named Bill, but I'm not sure if that is if that's from 3R. So nope, it's not. So if 3R is on here, let's hopefully you come. I don't know. I got nothing because you're our last person. So I guess while we are waiting, I do have a joke. I know how much you guys liked my Pinot No Pea wine joke the other day. So a neutron walks into a bar and asks, "How much for a beer?" The bartender replies, "For you, no charge." It's a beer and science joke. It's so good. So we'll give them another minute or two. Oh, I see you. You just came on. This is great news. We are going to talk to Mark at 3R, our final guest for this Wednesday. Hello.
Hey there, guys. How are you?
Nice to see you. Let's do a quick intro of who you are and where you are.
Yeah, sorry for being a few minutes late. We had a little refrigeration issue going on today, so I had to take care of that real quickly.
Yeah, and it's a hot one today, so you got to deal with
yes,
that.
It is. Yes, it is. Thank you for having us. My name is Mark Martin. I am with Rincon Reservation Road Brewery. We are the first and only Native American-owned brewery on tribal land in Southern California. And we're located out here at Harris, Rincon Valley.
So you guys you're definitely part of San Diego Beer, but you are in an area that is not, you're the only brewery in town, and it's kind of a unique situation. Like, talk to me a little bit about why did you guys decide to open a brewery there? Like, what's the background of 3R?
Well, so as you see, many of the Indian casino gaming operations around San Diego County, that's very what they've done out here with Harris and Lucenio, the Rincon tribe, has come together and decided that they wanted to invest in additional businesses. And one of the things that they wanted to get invested in was the craft beer world. And so 3 years or so ago, they built a gorgeous gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous craft brewery out here. And as you know, so many of the breweries are always clamoring to make an exciting experience for the guests, right? This has got to be one of the most great places to come to have a beer. I mean, we're attached to a world-class hotel. It's got a beautiful pool, a swim-up bar, a lazy river, a spa, and a brewery and a tasting room. I mean, what a great way to spend a day, right? So come on out and have a beer and enjoy. So that's kind of what our story's been.
So, I mean, I imagine that you probably have kind of, I mean, besides the obvious, you know, how many breweries have a lazy river, but like the atypical consumer experience in that you probably have a huge variety of people, from people who don't know anything about beer, don't drink beer, like whatever, to people who might know a lot about beer. So talk to me how that kind of dictates the type of stuff, the type of beers that you put out.
The type of beers that we brew. Yeah, no, it's actually a great question, because we have to really keep an eye on that portfolio, right? Because we're drawing customers primarily from Southern California that just aren't going to make that drive out to Vegas, right? And so you're pulling from Orange County, Inland Empire, and primarily San Diego County. And it's an absolutely beautiful property out here, but you're right, you've got all kinds of demographics that are coming out. And so certainly we have to have IPA, and we have hazy IPA, and we have a lot of those beers. We make about 6 to 8 different beers on a consistent basis right now. But we also have lighter drinking beers for those folks that are more into maybe a little bit more on the lighter side. So we have blondes, we have hefts. We have a beautiful blueberry saison that the team just created, which is doing tremendous for us. And what we do is we look to brew with any little bit of ingredients we might be able to find on reservation land. And so you'll see future beers coming out from us. We grow a lot of elderberry out here. We grow a lot of sage out here. You'll see a lot of those elements starting to make their way into our future beers.
So are people able to get your beers outside of Harrah's or outside of the brewery? Like, where can people get them?
Like most hyper-local breweries, we're available in the immediate area, so we get a lot of great support from the local area accounts, and they've been just tremendous through this whole, challenging times and whatnot. And, obviously, we reached out to our really high-volume accounts right off the bat, made certain that we had enough beer for them. We have changed our packaging strategy just a little bit, and we're producing more 16-ounce cans these days than we are draft beer, obviously, in kegs, just because we don't have as many outlets. But between our own tasting room, the Harrah's Casino here, any of the other Indian casino tribes that we service throughout the Southern California market, we have great outlets for our beer, both draft and 16-ounce. And so, but primarily, no, we've been moving into the packaged beer, just like a lot of other people right now, and selling every ounce we make.
Well, so you guys are still a relatively new brewery. I mean, are there any plans of expansion, off of tribal land, or is it just really like you guys have got your spot, and if anything, you might expand there? But what are some of the things that we might expect to see in the future?
Well, our strategy always was to first grow in concentric circles outside of this brewery, just use this as our main hub, and slowly but surely saturate our market as we go out. So we're still working on that portion right now. But yes, absolutely what you said. We have our eyes wide open for property right now, primarily in the North County area. The whole history of Lucenio is basically runs along the 76 San Luis River. Where the tribes used to come from Palomar Mountain and all the way out to Oceanside and stop and trade along the way. And so that's kind of our sweet spot, if you will, that North County area. But we're open, we're certainly open if there's opportunity in other markets in San Diego. We won't probably go too much further outside of San Diego with tasting rooms and whatnot. But we are getting a great deal of interest from accounts in our beer, primarily, again, because we're the first and only the Native American-owned brewery in SoCal. So it's kind of a unique situation.
Definitely. Well, where can people keep up with everything that's going on at the brewery? Social media or your website the best?
Social media is the best. Yeah, usually our Instagram page, or Facebook, all that good stuff. Our website, certainly. We just got done redoing all of our packaging, and so we've got brand new packaging that's hitting the market right now. It's absolutely stunning. I wish I should have grabbed a can for you. I could have shared it with you.
That's okay. You got an Easter egg out. Now people got to find it and keep an eye out for it.
Exactly. But no, our brewmaster is amazing. He's making outstanding liquid right now, and so that's step number one, right? As long as we have award-winning beer
Yep.
in our cans, we should do okay. And we're just fighting each and every day to sell more beer out there and keep our accounts satisfied.
Well, I gotta say, the sound of drinking a beer in a lazy river right now sounded pretty good. So I think you guys you're on to something. You're on the right track. So
Well, we're
I
in the middle
really,
of getting our tasting room open right now, and
yeah,
so keep your eyes on our website and our social media. In the next week or so, you should see that posting coming, and then
perfect.
you can come on out and join us. And we have an outdoor set up, all good to go, and it's going to be a lot of fun out here.
Sounds good. Well, we really appreciate you checking in with us and giving us the scoop on what's going on out there. And we'll catch you next time.
Well, thank you so much for the opportunity. Okay, you guys have a good one now. Take care.
All
Bye bye.
right. Cheers. Bye. All right, that was Mark over at Rincon Reservation Road Brewery out in Harris. And so, I think that's super interesting. And I could really go for like a lazy river beer right now. I don't know if I mentioned that 10 times, but ain't ready. It's so hot and I'm upset. So that is it. That's our show. That's everybody. We got everybody on there that we said we were going to, and only one joke had to be told. Aren't you guys so glad? I keep those in my back pocket. I know, it's just great. So until next time, we do this every single Wednesday from 3 to 4 p.m. or to 4-ish. If you have a question or comment, please do hit us up at SD Brewers, the account that you are watching right now. If you have a question or comment for me, I am at The Delighted Bite on Instagram. And until next week, keep buying local, craft, independent beer, and we should all do fine. But thank you so much for tuning in. We will see you next week. And, I'm going to finish the Swamis now. Cheers. Bye, everybody.